Have you ever wondered what secrets lie behind the gaze of a person whose eyes seem to carry more than emotions or thoughts? Princess Diana's eyes captivated the world, yet they also held a haunting emptiness, as if she could see things invisible to others. While the world admired her elegance and grace, few dared to question the melancholy beneath her radiant smile. Welcome to another night of unraveling untold mysteries. I'm Midnight, and tonight we delve into a story that unveils chilling revelations. Before we begin, remember to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us bring more hidden secrets to light. Are you ready to uncover what lurked behind Diana's enigmatic gaze? Princess Diana's eyes were more than a mirror of beauty. They seemed to reveal an unspoken depth that left an impression on everyone who saw her. Her gaze, often celebrated for its sweetness and charm, also carried an ineffable sadness. For some, it hinted at a profound understanding of something hidden, a secret known only to her. Even in moments of joy, there was a shadow of sorrow, as though she bore an invisible weight that no one else could perceive. The media and public often attributed her gaze to the pressures of royal life, a relentless scrutiny that could wear down even the strongest spirit. But those closest to her sensed something deeper. On rare occasions, Diana confided in friends about a sensation she could not fully articulate. She spoke of a presence, subtle yet persistent, as though she was always being watched, not by the public, but by something unseen and beyond comprehension. Diana described this feeling as an awareness that had been with her since her engagement to Prince Charles, an invisible force that seemed to shadow her thoughts, dreams, and most vulnerable moments. During public appearances, this presence was especially pronounced. Her eyes, though smiling for the cameras, often betrayed a glimmer of detachment, a momentary drift into a void only she could see. As her fame grew, so did this unsettling sensation. Diana's rise to global adoration appeared meteoric, almost preordained, as if propelled by forces beyond her control. Yet, she began to sense that her newfound life came at a cost, a feeling solidified by a chilling encounter she experienced before her marriage. One night, Diana awoke to a suffocating presence in her room at Kensington Palace. There, at the edge of her bed, stood a figure, tall, distorted, and otherworldly. Its eyes, dark and abyssal, seemed to pierce her very soul. It spoke, offering promises of fame, love, and adoration, yet leaving her with an ominous warning: there would be a price. Despite dismissing the encounter as a stress-induced dream, Diana could not shake the memory. Over time, the marks of this pact began to surface, shadows moving at the edge of her vision, whispers in an unfamiliar language, and an oppressive heat that seemed to follow her wherever she went. Even during public engagements, Diana felt an unseen force lingering just beyond her reach, as if she was never truly alone. Her wedding to Prince Charles, celebrated as the epitome of a fairy tale, marked the culmination of her rise to global prominence. Yet, Diana experienced moments of inexplicable dread throughout the ceremony. She felt an eerie presence, and in her reflection, glimpsed shadows that defied explanation. That night, alone in her room, the sensation returned with full force. It was clear that whatever had visited her before her marriage had not left. It was watching, waiting, and growing stronger. As her life unfolded, Diana's struggle between her public persona and private torment intensified. The supernatural presence that haunted her began to manifest more frequently, as if demanding the fulfillment of an unseen bargain. Diana, adored by millions, found herself increasingly isolated, trapped in a pact she neither fully understood nor could escape. Her story became one of duality: the radiant people's princess, beloved by the world, and a woman haunted by forces that defied explanation. Diana's gaze, ever poignant, seemed to plead for understanding, hinting at truths too unsettling to share. Her untimely death left these mysteries unresolved, cementing her legacy as both an icon and an enigma. What truly lay behind her haunting gaze remains a question for the ages, a secret she carried with her into eternity. As Diana welcomed the birth of her son William, a fleeting sense of relief washed over her, a hope that motherhood might shield her from the darkness pursuing her. Yet deep within, she knew the truth. The sinister force wasn't gone. It was merely waiting. Diana began to understand that her life was intertwined with an overwhelming entity, something beyond her control and impossible to escape. The unease in the mirror. Mirrors, a constant in Diana's life, became a source of dread. They reflected not just her image but something deeper, something lurking just beneath the surface. The first unsettling encounter occurred a few months after William's birth, while she was brushing her hair in the quiet of Kensington Palace. Her reflection lagged slightly behind her movements, an imperceptible delay that sent chills down her spine. For a fleeting moment, her mirrored image smiled unnaturally, its hollow eyes void of life. Though brief, the experience left a lasting impression. Over time, mirrors began to terrify her. She avoided them when she could, but their presence was inescapable. One night in a New York hotel, the terror escalated. As Diana adjusted her necklace in the mirror, her reflection morphed grotesquely. Black voids replaced her eyes, and an unnatural grin stretched across her face. The reflection raised its hand, as though trying to break through the glass. Diana stumbled back, only for the mirror to crack faintly before reverting to normal. The event deepened her fear, and from that moment on, mirrors became a gateway for the entity to observe her, an ever-present reminder of its power. The entity's growing presence. The entity began appearing in public. At first, it was subtle, a shadow slipping past her at a hospital charity event, a figure glimpsed in the glass doors of a gala. But the occurrences grew bolder. During an overseas trip, surrounded by dignitaries, Diana felt an oppressive heat as the room seemed to warp. In the distance, she saw it. A tall, slender figure with dark, hollow eyes. It lingered at the edge of the crowd, mocking her silently. Though she tried to dismiss these sightings, their frequency and intensity left no doubt. The entity was asserting its control. By the 1990s, Diana's emotional state was unraveling. Publicly, she appeared strong, but privately, she battled a growing darkness. Friends noticed her anxiety, her whispers about unseen pressures, and her increasing paranoia. Dreams of endless corridors and monstrous reflections haunted her, each one a cruel reminder of the pact she had unknowingly entered. The entity fed on her fear, its presence manifesting more overtly. Diana knew the price she had agreed to was inescapable. As her marriage to Charles dissolved and the media spun stories of her struggles, Diana carried a heavier burden, one that no one else could see. On the night of August 31st, 1997, as Diana's car sped into the Pont de l'Alma tunnel, she felt it, the oppressive heat, the growing darkness. In the flickering shadows, the entity stood waiting, its eyes black voids that swallowed light. The car's crash was inevitable, as though orchestrated by unseen hands. In her final moments, Diana saw it once more, its cold voice resonating in her mind. Now you are mine. Her death became a global tragedy, but few understood the full story. The entity had claimed its due, leaving behind a legacy haunted by unanswered questions. In the years following her death, strange occurrences continued. A hospital guard claimed to feel intense heat near Diana's room. Guests at her son William's wedding reported seeing fleeting shadows in the ornate mirrors, reflections of something otherworldly. Diana's pact seemed to transcend her life, extending to those who followed. This was no ordinary tale of tragedy. It was the culmination of an agreement that wove its way through generations, a cycle yet to be broken. Diana's story reminds us that some mysteries remain veiled in shadow, their truths glimpsed only by those who dare to look. If you found this narrative compelling, like, comment, and subscribe to uncover more stories from the depths of the unknown. Who knows? The next secret may change everything you think you know.